documents, or these contracts, or these leases, or these research proposals, or these images, like anything that like a company does day to day. Like what are people right now in the world when they're working? What are they working on? And a lot of it is unstructured data. But if you're going to have like AI help or ML, old ML help you, it would be like you train a model. You get data science team together, or you go buy a company. We would see like originally when we started got into this world, we were like, okay, we're going to get an ML model that would be able to handle contracts, to be able to like kind of structure it. Turned out that like that's too complicated. What you need is an ML model to not just contracts or not just like leases, but like at some point you got one commercial leases in the UK in the last 3 years, and you'd have a model for that. And it kind of didn't really work that well. Like you'd have to train and customize it a lot. So that was just the nature of how it used to be, like a long time ago, being like, 4 years ago. So when generative AI came out, we were watching the early days of like kind of the GPT-2 style of, and we were like, it's okay, But then somewhere around the time that ChatGPT came out, GPT-3.5 style of models, suddenly you started to see this amazing moment where a general purpose model could actually start to outperform the specialized models, and it could do things you never even have bothered to ever try to get. Like, what is the risk assessment of this contract, or like what things like, can you describe whether you think this image is production ready for a catalog? Like those used to not really be things that anybody would bother to ask an ML model. You couldn't even imagine the feature set that you would give into the traditional ML model. But generative AI could kind of do it. It's kind of one of the emergent properties of this. And as they got better, GPT-4 was like sort of this like big like kind of like, oh wow, it's like, some of the challenges of the older systems the older models are being fixed. And so GPT 3.5 is I think the moment where we said, let's just go back and retrofit everything about Box to be able to apply AI models on top of it, so that you could do things like chatting through documents and extracting data. And then it was amazing how fast you could actually get things working and get them working better than you ever had before, even though you spent like a ton of engineering and development resources on trying to get something working, and that like an hour and a half of using one of the new models actually gave you better performance. So that was a big aha moment. And then of course you realize that like you got 90% of the problem, and the last 10% of the problem is going to take all your time going forward. But really since then, all of our efforts have been around preparing Box to be an AI first platform where AI would be a big part of everything that people would do. We often talk internally like, what if we were building Box tomorrow? Remember, Aaron's our founder, and he still thinks in that way, like even after a long time. And this just comes up all the time. Like, if we were building Box today, clearly it would be an AI first experience. So